Um, and we're live. Good
Good
morning, afternoon,
morning!
evening. Daniel's in Switzerland. Where are you all coming from? If you're listening today, I mean, if you're on
Say hi,
Spotify, it may be
say ho.
tricky, but you could go on our Facebook page and say something. But if you're listening live, let us know where you're coming from. Where in the world
Yeah.
are you? I don't know
And
if you're
where
raised.
in the world are you, Benjamin? Where are
I
you
am
right
right
now?
here, right now.
Are you present?
Physically,
Are you present? Are you present, son? Huh?
I'm pretty present, actually.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Then you're exactly where you need to be.
yeah, that's right. Wherever we are, I am England.
Ooh,
Ahoy, mate.
bravo.
What part of England are you from? Sorry, you probably hate that. It's like, oh, let me do an American accent. You're from America. I just love accents. So I dated a woman from England for a very, very long time. She was from born in like Somerset, and her
Mm-hmm.
parents were also from Birmingham or something, and then she
Mm.
went to school in Scotland, and so she was like,
Mm.
accents were like, I be from Birmingham, I be, or like, I'm Farmer John from Somerset. And so she had a very like posh accent because she didn't want to be related to that, and that ended up. I love her dearly. She was amazing, but we went our separate ways.
I never
Our
had a
souls
Brit.
found each other.
I've never had a Brit. Never had a Brit. Boyfriend a Brit. Girlfriend a Brit. Dog a Brit. Nothing. I have many Brit friends, though, I will say.
Then you've yeah. Then you have.
But I keep them out of the sack, Benjamin.
Okay, safe as you are, mate.
That's right.
Good
Totally.
morning, Becky. Hello, Katie.
Hi,
Katya.
Becky.
So we are, if you're alive, say hi. Let us know where you're coming from. Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Venezuela,
Woohoo!
New Jersey. I love this.
Wow, I love it. How does it get even better than
Hudson
that? What else is
Valley,
possible
New
now?
York in the house, Florida. We are taking over. See, for all of you who are afraid about the future of the world and the human race, look at all this magic that we are creating right now.
That's right.
The light
Global
workers are working hard.
possibility. That's right.
So,
I'm so
Daniel,
happy to be here. Yeah, brother.
this gut thing has been coming up. We were talking about how to listen to your gut.
Yeah.
It's wild. I'm teaching a class right after this, a corporate class on, it's
Okay.
called Food and Mood. And what we're
Whoa.
actually going to do
Uh-huh.
is teach them about their gut.
Awesome.
They don't know it yet. They're going to be like, oh, let me think how to eat well, and then I'll feel better. But it's like,
Sure.
there's actually, your gut has its own nervous system and a lot of
Yes,
other
like your
amazing things we'll
brain,
talk about,
actually.
like
Yeah,
the brain.
totally.
It's a brain. There's three brains, actually: the head, the heart, and the gut.
What about
For
the penis?
I was about to, we're doing the exact same thing. I was about to say, and for men, there's maybe
I
a
was gonna
fourth.
say, yeah, exactly, exactly.
I mean,
You know,
what's
there's
not
a
for
lot
women
of
to have that too?
absolutely,
I met some
totally. Why
women that are
not?
like, shit, I don't have a penis, but something's talking to me.
Right, totally. And they seem to have a magical charm with that kind of communicating with that kind of brain too. So cheers on them.
Yes.
You
So
know,
what
there
gut are
are
we talking about?
what gut are we talking about? Well, first of all, I'd like to ask everyone who's listening, what does it mean to you, or what do you think listening to your gut actually means?
That's a
Right?
great
We've
question.
we've heard that since we were what kids. Or our parents would say, "Hey, be safe. You're going out there. This is your first time.
Mm-hmm.
Going out in the dark. Listen to your gut. Trust your gut." What does that mean? What does that mean to everybody? So pop it in the chat. Let's hear what you've got to say. And
Let's hear what you
I mean,
got to say.
hear what you got to say. One thing that I would love to share with you guys is something you may or may not know, that every single astrological sign has a part of the body that corresponds to that astrological sign. Meaning, for
Oh man,
example,
we're
for
about to go deep. Buckle in, y'all.
yeah, we're getting deep. So for example, for Taurus, it's the throat, right? So Tauruses oftentimes are amazing opera singers, right?
Mm.
They're amazing orators. They also love to eat. They are usually excellent
I mean, who doesn't love to
communicators.
eat?
That's true.
But that
But
does
they're
makes that makes
also
a lot of sense.
That's right. But they're also very, very prone to sore throats or things in the thyroid. Okay. Now,
Astrologically,
this astrologically, right?
which could
Now the
also be
sign,
anatomically because the moon affects our cells and water and atoms and
right.
all of those things.
No, it definitely does. And the system that the gut actually, the sign that the gut actually controls is the sign of Virgo, okay? Which is exactly my sign. And
Oh,
the reason that I'm
how
bringing this
fitting.
up is that how fitting. The energy of Virgo is often very nervous, right? It's a very, very nervous sign. Things have to be this way and da. And it's oftentimes because there is a so-called um, they can see the way things should be, meaning they can see how better things can be. Like Virgos are known as being the perfectionists or being able to see that. But what ends up happening is they're not so great at communicating what it is that they want to help with, or they could be a contribution to. Therefore, they keep it inside. Okay. And what happens when you keep things inside, you see how I'm bringing everybody else into this too. When you keep inside things that you know, things that you are aware of that don't come out, then we have all kinds of diseases and disorders, right? Whether it's something like IBS or whether it's something like colitis or any of those gut issues are actually all related to our inability to communicate our truth and to communicate what our intuition is actually telling us and actually trusting our intuition and following our intuition. Okay.
We're
So
dropping some deep truth right now. So
it's
say that last part again about trusting.
trust your knowing. Trusting your knowing is trusting your gut, right?
Yes,
I would say trust your intuition, but there's something a lot of people go, oh, I don't have intuition. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm
So
not
trust your
psychic.
knowing. Right, I'm not psychic. Yes, of course you are.
Yeah, and I want to.
Trust your knowing. Hmm.
Yes, and some of us have learned very well. I don't know if you've seen the oh, what's it called? The Dropout. Yeah, with
Yes. Kirstie Alley?
no, with
No.
um I'll think of her name in a second. I know it so well.
Okay.
Amanda Seyfried.
Amanda
Amanda
Seyfried. I don't
Seyfried.
think I saw it. No.
And I think it's called The Dropout. And she's playing the woman who I'm terrible at names. So, the famous entrepreneur who is now
Oh
also
my
on
God, her! I
trial,
love her. Had to. Sorry.
Elizabeth Holmes.
Elizabeth Holmes. Okay.
Elizabeth Holmes, and
Uh-huh.
that's what Giselle said. Oh my god, I love her too. And yes, Elizabeth Holmes and Amanda Seyfried's playing her, and she, at the beginning, I'm not going to give away anything, but at the beginning, her mom tells her something about shoving it down. When something bad happens to you, you shove it down,
Right.
and it
Swallow it.
references it again at the end of the show in an amazing way.
Wow.
And some of us consider, some of us have been trained to shove it down or
That's
to
right.
not listen to it. And so listening to our gut sometimes, you may not know how, you may not know what that is, you may not have much practice at it, because this day and age we're getting practice really training up here, especially with technology and screens and everything. We're literally starting to
Exactly.
operate from here up, right? But we're
Yes.
understanding with wellness how much it needs to be bigger. And the heart brain is also
Mhm.
10,000 times more magnified, the actual magnetic field of the brain, and
Vibrations.
smarter. And then the gut too, and the gut has a direct it has its own nervous system, and it speaks directly to the brain, and
Right.
75% of your antibodies live in the gut. And so much communication is happening between your emotions and everything you think you're feeling. Consider
Yep.
some of it could be the food you have eaten or coffee. I was
Absolutely.
agitated all day yesterday, and I thought I was going through something emotional. And I've started to
Uh-huh.
understand when that irritation comes up that it's like that it's now, right now in my life, that's a sign that I may have some grief arising that I need to listen to.
Wow. How amazing that
But
you have that awareness for for yourself, and that you know from your body what that can mean, right?
yeah, but then I listened to my gut as I
Hmm.
reached for my third cup of coffee
Third cup of
yesterday,
coffee.
and I realized that was not grief. That was over caffeination
Hmm.
and
Oh.
irritation from that. And some of the stomach stuff was sickness. And I was feeling sick, so I was trying to like keep myself awake to get through the day
Hmm.
rather than take a nap, right? And actually I did rest, but there was an opportunity to listen to our guts. And I had Thai food last night, and I woke up and my gut was hurting this morning, and I've started to listen to it. I've started to write about it, and I eat really well for the most part, but just starting to look at those things
Sure.
of what's not serving us. And even those, you say you get that gut feeling, right? There's
Yeah,
actually there's an intelligence down there. So
absolutely.
all of this I'm going to all this I'm saying for the reason that you have the intelligence whether you know it or not.
Right.
And I would love to talk about some tools for how we can tap into our gut, how we can tap into that awareness. I have some, but Daniel,
Yeah.
you're someone who I came to specifically to help develop my
Yes.
intuition, my gut awareness, my heart awareness. So, what are some of the tools that you use or practice to listen to your gut
Yeah, absolutely. I want to ask
or
you
speak
one
to
thing.
anything else? Yeah.
Yeah, no, no, no. I will definitely speak to that. But you said something I would like to ask you. Do you remember what was going on, what you were thinking about as you went to pour that third cup of coffee? Do you remember? Or what were you avoiding when you went to pour that third cup of coffee?
I look at that sometimes too. I think I was avoiding just resting, and I was really thinking about how exhausted I was and that I just wanted to finish this my homework for my coach so that I could feel complete, because I don't like to leave things incomplete. And I've also been avoiding my homework. Like I tried to go shopping yesterday on some errands, and or to like I asked a friend to bring over a saw to cut this one branch that had been bothering me instead of finishing my homework,
Sure.
right? And I actually told him not to come because I saw that I was avoiding it. So I, in that moment,
Right.
like I actually went back and finished my homework, but I was reaching for it out of like not giving in to my body's, like not, I purposefully did not give in to my gut at that moment. I didn't just let
Great.
myself rest.
So you didn't follow your gut. What was
No,
your gut saying to you?
like have some water, have some more water, and drink water all
Right.
day, but like have some more water,
Yeah.
and
Relax.
yeah, like
Take a breath.
pause
Yeah.
and lay
Yeah.
down.
Walk around the block or something,
I
do
did a lot
something.
of that, but one thing I am taking on, we're creating these places. We just put up these swinging chairs on our front porch where I can lay down and I can completely
Nice.
lounge. Minus the traffic, I could take a nap, but
Right.
I'm finding rest there, and so I'm
Right.
finding places there and in our backyard. We're creating all, like we're going to build a little yoga deck where we can lay out, and we have chairs around a fire pit that I sit around every morning. I'm starting to take you there for my meditation. So these little places to like stop and pause and create rest, and also a little mini
So cool.
trampoline to like jump up and down when
Bounce
my
in and
gut is
activity.
telling me things need to move.
Right.
But a lot of times I
So,
start with water and I start with pausing. I think
yeah.
those are two
Y-
great things.
Exactly. And you just gave away exactly one of the most important things that we can look at, especially with our diet. A lot of
Mm,
people perceive a lot of allergies, food allergies that we have. We don't stop to see actually why they may have happened. We think that it happened something magically, like, oh my God, all of a sudden I'm allergic to whatever it is. But if we look at what was actually happening around that time that we got that allergy, and we ask ourselves, what was I not listening to, or what was I not trusting in that moment that I chose this other thing? Now I know it sounds like like a really really crazy concept, but I'm just dropping that little bit for you all to actually think about what comes before the action? What is the consciousness that comes before the action? So that's why I asked you, Ben, what was the consciousness before you actually picked up that extra cup of coffee? Because this is exactly what we all do. We avoid our intuition and we go to doing things like whatever. Smoking is a great example, right? It's something where
Hmm.
we
Hmm.
rush to do something because of whether it's out of habit, or whether it's because of experience, or whether it's because of avoiding communicating something because it has to do with the mouth, right? Same
Yeah,
thing can be said
anytime you're
for
putting
drinking.
in, and also like starving
Yeah,
yourself of those things can also be part of that too, like
yeah,
withholding those
absolutely.
things from yourself.
Right.
I've actually learned to carry a water bottle, so anytime I'm wanting to do something like that, I'm like stuffing my
Hmm.
face with water, so
That's
there's
good.
actually a
Yeah,
really
that's great.
positive thing that I'm reminding myself, because actually 80% of the country is
Yeah.
dehydrated.
Yes.
So starting with water can actually bring the awareness in.
Yeah, and it's also water is an energy, and it's an element in and of itself that can really, really bring us more centered. It can calm us down. It can actually hydrate us and bring oxygen to our bodies. One of
Mm.
the other tools that I have for listening to your gut, if
Well,
you're one
let's
of
say
those
that the first
people,
one was what's the consciousness before the action? Was that it?
yeah, exactly. What's the consciousness before your reactive action or your reactive
Before the
choice?
reactive action or choice.
Right, whatever that may be for you. And so we want to look at how this area, this lower chakra, this belly area, is actually showing up in our lives. Do you have ongoing digestive issues? Do you have ongoing extreme gas? Or do you have anything going on there? And I'm going to share something with you that was one of the most powerful contributions that I learned from an ancient healing practice from the Tao. Okay, and those masters would actually recognize the power of this second chakra. And the second chakra is 2 inches below the belly button and 3 inches inside. And they would focus their energy from here and imagine that all of this heat, right, that stops us from listening to our gut, the anger, the hate, the fury, the rage, this was heated energy that is actually drawn
Mm.
down into our gut, which is cold. When we're not listening to our gut area is actually cold. And so when
Mm.
it's cold, it can't function properly either. So if we imagine fire, they call it water up, fire down. So imagine this is fire. And when you have those moments of not being able to tap into the clarity of your gut, take that energy that's in your head and physically pull it down to your gut and imagine it warming up your gut. And then imagine cold water coming from your gut and going up to your head and cooling it down. So fire down, water up. It's so easy too, Ben. And because absolutely, exactly. So think about right, exactly. Exactly. And how many times, right, sure. And that's an amazing tool, period, to start every day because it alkalinizes your body. And alkalinization, the Vedics said that if you have an alkaline body, you can't have cancer because cancer can't exist in an alkaline body. That's a whole nother episode. But back to the gut, right? When when you are reactive in your mind, when we're angry, when we're frustrated, when we're so in our head that we're not present, that's when we do that exercise. Fire down, water up. Okay, so I know you guys are saying, like, okay, so when do I do that? Do I do that every day or whatever? You can do it every day. You can do it any time of the day, but you can also be aware of when you're not present and when you're so in your head to be able to do that.
Yeah, just
and
coming
watch
to your
what
breath
happens.
too. Yeah, using your breath to
Yes.
do that is an incredible thing as
Yes,
well.
exactly.
And your gut tells
Exactly,
you
Ben.
so many things. And the more you practice it, like going to the gym, it's a muscle that can get stronger. So if you practice listening to your gut, if you ask yourself, like, what is my gut saying? Because a lot
Yeah,
of times your head's trying to tell you something else. At least mine does all the time. I've been trying to
absolutely.
figure out if I can show up for this particular job I was offered this summer. And I'm needed in a few different places, and my head's like, oh yeah, you can make it all work, you can make it all work, but my gut's telling me something else, you know. And so I've really
Mhm.
been like listening
Yeah.
uh, there, but yeah, just taking those times to practice dropping and practice listening, and most of us, I think too, I would dare to say, don't on like why don't you honor your gut? What are you most afraid of? And
Right.
usually it's the lack of faith, like not feeling taken care of. So if I make
Absolutely.
this decision, my head's telling me something else, but my gut's like, no, 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 you shouldn't do this. And you're like, but if I don't do this, how am I
Right.
going to do that? Now, how am I going to pay the rent? How's this going to happen? And it's just like, just trust it, right?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
sometimes the way, if life worked perfectly the way you always wanted and you always got what you want, you might have a very small life, but actually, you're being given things even greater. And
Yes.
so it's taking that time to actually pause and listen to those things too.
That's so beautiful too. That's exactly spot on, Ben. I was like thinking something, and then you pulled it out of my brain, which was
Mm.
amazing, as always. I mean, come on, how's it get even better? So you that energy too, guys, of how many times, if you look back in your life, of choices that you made that didn't go the way that you wanted, and you actually looked at the other choices that were available, and you knew that your gut was telling you to do something differently, right? This happens a lot in relationship, actually, right? People get in relationship, and they get in relationship and they're with somebody, and I will ask them, I'll say, so go back to the seed level of when you decided you wanted to take this thing to the next level, this relationship to the next level. What was your gut telling you? What was your intuition telling you? And they were like, well, my intuition told me that they probably wouldn't be very faithful. And I said, okay, so why do you expect them to be faithful? Because you decided that they were going to be faithful? The universe is showing you, hey, listen, this guy may have been fun for a couple of nights, but he's not really going to be the guy that you want to spend the rest of your life with, FYI. And you're like, no, but he's so cute and he's so smart, and I should keep him because he'll change. Really? 5 years down the road, you're screaming at yourself for not listening to your gut.
And him for not
And
changing.
him. That's right. And how many times, guys, have we done that? I mean, how many times? Not just in relationship, but in other areas of your life.
Mm.
You know, my biggest one happens to be cryptocurrency now. I know when I should sell. I know when there's going to be a big, and I don't. And I go,
Mm.
no, keep going, keep going. And I'm like, damn, Daniel, you knew you should have sold.
Well, holding on longer can't hurt.
That's right.
You're in the
Absolutely.
short game, but you can also have faith in the long game and just let
No,
go
I'm a
and
long
trust you're
gamer,
taken
mate.
care of. Okay,
Of
all right.
course.
Okay, baby. So I want to acknowledge a couple things that were. Can we do a little Q&A here, Daniel, for the last few
Yeah.
minutes? Okay, I
Oh
literally,
yeah.
yeah, I've got about 3 minutes.
No problem.
So walk back. Thank you so much for your comments, everyone. And by the way, thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe, tag a friend who needs to hear this, share it.
We're so grateful for you guys. How awesome.
We are. It's and today's electric. So man, I mean, Daniel, you can stay on. I've got to go teach about our gut awareness to some corporate folk and get them
I
woke.
want every single one of those guys to come to Wake Up Wednesday next week, Ben.
All right,
That
I'll
is
let
what
them
my
know.
gut is telling you.
Okay, I'll share with them. So
Exactly.
Walkback said, "How do you deal with fear of failure without knowing you have it?" Well, that's interesting because if you're asking that question, that something tells me you might know you have it. And I
I
have
do.
so many
What are you
qualifications for
avoiding?
so
Wait, wait, wait,
many
wait, 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 wait.
things.
Wait, 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 wait. What are you avoiding?
Hmm.
When you say I don't know, you're avoiding something, my love.
That's
What are you
right.
avoiding? You're
That's so
not
true.
willing to see what you know. Ah, love you so much. Sorry, Ben. I
No,
had to get
no,
that out.
no,
My
no,
gut
man.
was
It's
like,
all good. I was
go.
just finishing a sentence. Yeah, let it out. When it needs to come out, let it out.
When it needs to
Oh
come
my
out, it needs to come
God.
out.
Oh my God, Daniel.
What?
Last night I was
What?
avoiding playing music with my wife. I know. I'm sorry. It sounds terrible. But she actually came to me as I was sitting by the fire and she was like, "Can we just play one song?" And I'm like, "I just need to eat dinner. Please. I just want to eat. Can we just eat?"
Yeah.
And like, of course, I was like, "Oh, Ben, you can go eat whenever you want." But then I just saw her there, and I was like, "Wow, universe!" And I caught myself holding on to something, and then I
Hmm.
saw this. I like just relaxed, and I was like, "Yes, I will go get us dinner. I'll play one song with you and this." If anyway, so we worked something out, and then I wanted to play more. I didn't want to stop. My hands just after we played the one song kept moving. And then suddenly Cassie just opened her voice and a song came out. And then my hands followed to hear and to hear and to hear. And we intuitively channeled a song right then and there. It was like a minute and a
Oh,
half. And it's one of the most gorgeous things we've ever written
I want to hear.
just because I said yes. And, it's that just because I let go. Right.
Yeah.
And so there
Yeah.
was something I've even taught myself to, I'm like, well, my gut says I need to eat. That's important too if you're hungry.
Yeah.
But there was something bigger. And so, I was avoiding being present with my partner.
Yeah. I know.
And I wonder, I just think it's a great question to see what are we avoiding, right? And this isn't to beat ourselves up. This is to create awareness. Right?
Exactly.
So if we're having a hard time with food, if we're having a hard time with emotions, if we're so much of this becomes about control,
Yeah.
right? And not trusting ourselves. And your body is built for healing better
Hmm.
than anything else. It is designed for your own healing.
That's
It is
right.
specifically designed for your own healing and one of the best things in the universe for healing because it's designed for you.
Yeah. And
And
pleasure.
so,
Don't forget, your
yes,
body loves pleasure. Your body loves pleasure. Do not starve your body from pleasure.
no. And can you eat more of the things that you do enjoy? When people are going on diets, to say, well, don't focus about the things that you can't have. Like, what are the things that you can have that you enjoy? And can you
Yes.
start listening to that? Because your body may actually start to crave and enjoy all new things, and then suddenly, like a piece of mango or pineapple or fruit is like, oh my god, it's just you
Yes.
find
Yeah.
all these new things. I didn't know how all the amazing aromas and flavors of coffee till I took out milk and sugar and all the other things I put in there. And now,
Mm.
like every cup, I'm like, wow, this is so unique and I can experience it newly
Miraculous.
and I actually enjoy it. I'm not just like caffeine, you
So
know?
I also honor my partner, as you so beautifully honored yours.
Please.
My partner Guillermo is like, we travel, like we live our life traveling. So he loves to take pictures, right? And he
Mm.
loves to take pictures. And he just is such a visual guy. And when you see a new city and you explore with him, he's like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. And he'll sit there and he'll stare at it. And he'll be like,
Oh.
okay, I want to do this picture. And then I do this picture. And then he's like, mi amor, can you do this? And can you do this? And can you do this? And I have to tell you that Gemini in me is like, can we just fucking go? I am done. Just take the fucking picture. Okay. But what he has taught me because it invites me to listen to my gut, by the way, it invites me to say, what's here that I'm missing that he's aware of? And the minute that I actually stop that hurry up, and I become present with him and I see what he sees through his beauty, my world has changed. My world has changed. And then that energy that is in my gut all of a sudden goes, oh, wow, that flower is really pretty. Or, oh, wow, that's such a beautiful sunset. Things that I would have missed,
Mm.
and how many things are we missing, guys? are we missing because we're just not present, and so present with also our intuition, so
Yeah.
present with our possibility, right?
Yeah.
So thank you for honoring Cassie, because I love that girl. You know I love that girl. So
Yes, she's who
and
brought
we're
us
just
together. Oh, and
don't
then a
forget.
bag of cacao fell on my head last night, right before I went to bed. Because I was also thinking I should take caffeine out. I think I'm gonna cut it back on coffee. And then like this thing, and even this morning I'm still cleaning up like fucking cacao, like it's everywhere, and it's like hit me on the head, like, hey, dude, here's a beautiful alternative,
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Still hit me. It actually just hit me right now as we're talking.
It's
like
your
why
intuition,
it hit me.
buddy. It's your gut. Your gut.
I
is
blamed it on my
asking for
wife
it.
putting it up there improperly or
Of
something.
course you did. Of course
Yeah.
you did, because we always have to blame somebody.
Cassie,
Why
the
not?
cacao fell on my head. It's everywhere.
Exactly.
Thank you for
Benjamin,
letting me
thank
share
you.
that. Ooh,
Absolutely.
I gotta go. Love you all. Have a beautiful day.
Love
Thank
you
you so
all.
much for joining us.
And
It's
thank
been
you for
incredible.
everybody, for your contribution, for every single one of you. Your awareness, your energy, your ask is what makes this show happen. And so we thank you so much for that. Thank you, Ben, as always, sending you lots of healing vibes without
My
cacao
pleasure.
hitting you over your
Yes,
head.
thank you. Yes, you can replay this, Jack. This is an podcast, so it's on Spotify. It's on all the places you listen to podcasts. Wake Up Wednesdays, the podcast. You can find us anywhere there, and absolutely, you can replay it there. It's also on my Facebook page. But check us out online and listen to the podcast and share it with someone you know. We love you all.
We love
Thanks
you
so
guys.
much. Have a beautiful and blessed day.
Bye, Ben.